Today for the Bitcoin and more importantly Ethereum price with Carl from the Moon. We are going to talk about Ethereum because, well, we just talked about Ethereum and we actually came up with some crazy numbers based on the performance of the last bull cycle for Ethereum. And we were deriving some price predictions from that for Ethereum, which, and I can promise you that it will certainly blow your mind. So before we are going into that, before we are going to talk about the price targets and the exact time we are expecting these price targets to potentially get hit, I want you to come to the most important question of today. Carl from the Moon, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing very well. We're sitting here on a beautiful yacht in Dubai and we had a very interesting conversation, me and Chris. We were talking about Ethereum and the price and what if Ethereum goes to these levels, and it was just mind-blowing. And then we thought, why don't we just make a video of this, right?
Exactly, and here we are, right?
Yeah.
Let me quickly show you here the surrounding. It's very beautiful. We're actually here on the boat in Dubai, and you can see in the background the marina, the biggest wheel in the world, right there, the highest infinity pool in the world. So now let's talk about the highest price prediction for Ethereum in the world potentially. So how should we start with that, Carl? What do you think about Ethereum right now, and where do you think this whole journey is going to in the next few months?
Yeah, so first of all, Ethereum is very widely adopted. People are using Ethereum. That's the first thing. I mean, adoption is key, right? So fundamentally, Ethereum has everything going for it. Although, of course, there are some problems with the fees and stuff. However, I think that it is undeniably so that Ethereum is looking very bullish fundamentally, but also technically. If you look into the chart, you will see higher lows, higher highs, and more importantly, how is Ethereum looking against Bitcoin?
Strong AF, right?
Very strong, very strong. Ethereum is still gaining momentum against Bitcoin. And I mean, if you go back into the previous bull cycle, Ethereum has actually been way higher than we are right now. So people may think, oh, we're at all-time highs. But no, I mean, only in the US dollar value. And everyone should know, I mean, on your channel, on my channel, we know that it doesn't really matter all too much. Only thing that matters is against Bitcoin.
Exactly. I mean, well, what if we, I don't know, like most of you guys might not know it. If you measure Ethereum against Bitcoin, and then I want to know your thoughts, of course, Ethereum could make another almost 3x and only then break the all-time high against Bitcoin. So that means that at the present prices, we would see like 8,400 US dollars at the current prices only if Bitcoin breaks if Ethereum breaks the all-time high against Bitcoin and Bitcoin stays the same. So this is something to keep in mind. We are far away, actually 67% away from top to bottom from the all-time high for Ethereum. So yeah, please continue.
Yeah, let's phrase it like this. If Ethereum simply does what it did before, we could go very close to $10,000. So that's within the realms of possibilities. I actually had a friend asking me a couple of days ago, like, Carl, should I take profits on Ethereum right now? Should I sell my Ethereum? And I said, why would you sell Ethereum in a clear bull trend, in a clear bull market, not only on the US dollar chart, but also on the Bitcoin chart? You don't want to sell when you have a clear established trend. When the trend starts to reverse, that's another story, but we didn't see that just yet. So I'm bullish on Ethereum, and I think that Ethereum could quite reasonably and like conservatively go back up to something like an 11% ratio against Bitcoin. We've been there before. Actually, we've been way above that before. And then, I mean, if we were to do it right now, then that gives us one target. But like, if Bitcoin goes to $100,000, which we know it's going to, then 11% of 100,000, 11,000, right?
Yeah.
But I think both you and me, we expect Bitcoin to go to 300,000, maybe even higher than this. So we could literally see like $30,000 Ethereum. And in my opinion, I think it's going to happen before the end of the year, because I think if Bitcoin is going to top out before the end of the year. And then we are going to see a bear market, very likely at some point there. I'm not saying exactly 30K and exactly like, but I'm saying within these with these realms, like Bitcoin will go to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then we see a bear market. I think we have to take profits at some point at these levels, but yeah, 11,000 is very conservative for Ethereum, very conservative. It would be very weird if Ethereum did not reach that price target.
Exactly.
Even before the end of the year.
I think it will blow all our expectations. Remember, Vitalik Buterin, he had the weekends. He sold Ethereum at $10. He sold a lot of his Ethereum at $10. Can you imagine that actually, guys? So this is something we have to keep in mind for sure. So even if Bitcoin just stays where it is right now and Ethereum breaks the all-time high just in Bitcoin, 0.14, so 14% measured in the Bitcoin price. That would already bring us to, at the current price of now, I don't know, $7,000-8,000 right? So this is already a huge upside, but then you have to consider that Bitcoin will go up in the future if we are driving here the narrative that it's not the end of the bull market. I wanted to know from you, Carl, what are you expecting, first of all, just to round it up for this video, in the midterm, so maybe within the next 3 months for Bitcoin, but then eventually, a little thought experiment. Where do you think the long-term vision for Ethereum is going to, price-wise, at least here, maybe in keeping fundamentals in mind, updates or whatever, for the next 5 or 10 years? Because we all know the smartest investors in the world, they have a long time horizon, 5 years, 10 years. The Sheikh of Dubai, he has a 50-year, 100-year vision for his city. This is something I'm interested in. So I wanted to know a little bit about that as well.
Yep. Let's maybe start with the short term. And I think that Ethereum could very, very reasonably reach $4,000 to $7,000 within the next 2 to 3 months. I think that we're in a clear bull market, and keeping in mind this 11% ratio for of Bitcoin, I think that this definitely is within the realms of possibilities. And the fact that I'm bullish on Ethereum makes me want to hold for these levels. I think that these levels are going to happen. It's very, very possible. And if we look at the long term, like very long term, let's say 10 years down the line, we know that Bitcoin is going to go to somewhere between 1 million up to maybe $5 million within the next 10 years.
In today's purchasing power, right?
In today's purchasing power, yeah, exactly. That's what I believe. And I think that, I mean, again, if we just play with the numbers, just like a thought experiment, like what if Ethereum keeps up with Bitcoin at $1 million and keeps that let's say 11%, then we're talking about $110,000 per Ethereum.
Yeah.
And what if we go to 5 million? That's $500,000 per Ethereum.
I personally think Bitcoin is going to reach that level. It's just a question of time,
Yes.
right? For Ethereum, who knows? I think it really depends on these updates, right? Ethereum 2.0,
Yep.
then if it will be really deflationary at the current inflation rate, because the inflation will keep on going, percentage-wise it decreases, but honestly, I could imagine Ethereum, if it continues to, like, or if they deliver on all their promises, if it is deflationary, I could imagine it maybe keeping up with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
at least more or less, and then these price targets are actually in the room of possibilities.
I would say it's not likely. I wouldn't say that 500k per Ethereum is likely, but it's possible. It is there. It's like a possibility. But some like $30,000 for Ethereum is, in my opinion, very likely.
Yes.
Very likely.
I agree.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of the long term, because we have to also realize that 10 years is a very long time. There could be other projects coming out that simply do everything much better than Ethereum, gains market adoption very quickly, and then takes over. But these things are just not predictable. That's why we should have exposure to Ethereum, but I would never go all in on Ethereum. I would still keep like 80% of my crypto in Bitcoin, then maybe 10% Ethereum, and then rest some alternatives that could potentially outperform Ethereum. I think that makes sense. Diversification is very, very important. Not too much, but also some diversification is very, very important.
Yeah, especially within a altcoin portfolio, I think it's very smart because, well, if we want to pick the king, it's very easy just by Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
But within the altcoin market to pick the king, I think diversifying makes some sense. Who of you guys is investing 10,000 hours to research Polkadot, to research Cardano, and so on, right?
Yeah.
So I think the diversification makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I think we had the most exciting price targets in that video ever seen on YouTube. If you take them all together, let me know what you think about that, guys. Of course, it is a little bit of a thought experiment, but we really want to try to expand your mind to what's actually possible. If people talked about Bitcoin going to 20,000 in 2015, people would just say you are crazy. If Ethereum just launched at 50 cents or so, they told you Ethereum is gonna shoot up to $1,400 in 2018, people would think you are crazy. And crypto is just blowing everyone's expectations.
Ethereum was like cents, right? And Bitcoin was also just cents. And I think we have just seen nothing yet. I think all of us know this. We have seen nothing yet. We're in the middle of like something crazy. And I'm not talking about the end of the year.
Oh, it's still recording, sorry.
We're in the middle of something absolutely phenomenal and crazy. And I'm not talking about the end of the year. I'm talking about like the next 10 to 20 years. We're going to see absolute huge movements for crypto, specifically Bitcoin,
Yeah.
maybe Ethereum, and maybe other altcoins as well. Definitely Bitcoin for sure. I mean, Bitcoin is here to stay, but I am very bullish on Ethereum as well.
That's for sure, that's for sure. And I'm very proud to have you guys in our community here. I know that he is extremely proud of his community as well. It's just huge and amazing to see that we are not going through this alone. We are going through this all together. So I'm very proud of you here watching until the very end, supporting the channel, smashing up the like button, going down below in the pinned comment, going over to the Moon channel and subscribing to him as well. You know, he has amazing content over there as well. So make sure you subscribe to his channel down below in the comment section. And with that being said, do you have any last words to share before we are wrapping it up?
I would say, guys, in a bull market, keep holding, but there will come a time when me and Chris will start making videos about time to take profits, and at that point it's very important that I think that you at least listen to our view, because we were in the last bull and bear market and we have experience that we want to because both of us did some stupid mistakes in the past. I think we held some stuff for too long. We had too much exposure to altcoins at some point, right? We learned from the previous bull cycle. We are going to implement our new strategy based on our mistakes, and we're going to make videos about it, right? So keep holding in the bull market. The gains are going to be probably crazy for the next 1-2 months, maybe even longer. But taking profits is important, especially if it's life-changing money. In fact, if you made life-changing money right now, I would recommend taking profits, because let's say you're working a normal 9-to-5 job, like grocery store or something. If you made $300,000 on an altcoin, take profits, sell half, because this money will change your life. But if that's not you, then I would say if it's just like fun money, keep holding.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. And all of that, of course, in the light of altcoins and so on. I think for Bitcoin, we are pretty much on the same road here. We are not taking too many profits in the bull market, right? Trying to outperform here, buying the top, selling the top, buying the bottom with your holding portfolio really defeats the purpose. But for altcoins, I 100% agree here, definitely. And yeah, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And on his channel, he asked for 12,000 likes on the collaboration. First of all, make sure you watch it, you like it. But let's try to get at least 12,000 on this one as well. So smash up the like button.
12K.
Leave your favorite altcoins in the comment section down below. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, guys, bye-bye.